Hello, everybody. This is the Aquarium Medium. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to talk about the lunar eclipse that's happening on November 19th, 2021. It is a full moon that will be in Taurus. And so this is about what we really value. And there's so many messages that have been coming in. The degree of my sun in the 11th house of Pisces is shining a light on the intuitive messages received about Eris. Eris is the Greek mythological sister of Ares, who is blamed for starting the Trojan War. Eris was named by Michael Brown in 2003, and Michael Brown also believes that there is a planet 9 out there. He's 90% sure, and even more sure as of this year. Michael Brown goes back to, of course, the discovery, like I said, of Eris and the renunciation of Pluto in the hierarchy of the planetary system. There is also a hypothetical red dwarf or a brown dwarf that could be orbiting the sun that is located in the Oort cloud. And in the Oort cloud is where stars are born. And it goes back to the deaths of our past, the injustice of our past. And with humanity constantly repeating history via Cain and Abel's stories, conquering his brother, conquering nature, subduing, dominating, instead of cooperating. The energies of this lunar eclipse in Taurus, where Uranus is located, where Sedna is also located. Sedna is the only archetype that is found in the Christ consciousness chart that I received in 2019. There's an undoing with Sedna, and the story of Sedna, the story of Eris, is very significant of letting go and uniting with nature rather than subduing and dominating it. Eris is the goddess of discord and strife. However, she brings the unconscious to the conscious state, and she awakens the people like with Sleeping Beauty. She awakens the people who take a stand for what is right, for what is just. Eris wants us to rethink how we define our influences upon one another and ourselves. She brings evolutionary movements. She's an anarchist. She can be impatient because when she speaks, other people do not hear her, and it causes internal frustrations. She brings about opinions that lead to arguments rather than debates. She is well versed in conflict with society. She wants to be diplomatic. She first entered Aries in 1923 and will not enter Taurus until 2048. By 2048, we will discover a companion, or perhaps two companions for our sun. We will have discovered Planet 9. And these energies, this lunar eclipse is going back to the Kennedys. It is going back to the 1920s. It is going back to the king and queens of times past that we're letting go of. This is a time where humanity will grow up as the earth changes. Our imminent, with Sedna being in Taurus. And as Uranus also shakes up the earth, we as a society, as a people, get taken down to our knees to understand that change is necessary, that a new direction is necessary if we want to maintain a human species on Earth. She has been sucked dry with her resources. The land animals, the sea, the coral reefs, everything that man has created the last 120 years since Eris came into Aries has created a discord for our life path, an internal discord as well. And what is very interesting is that when the sickness came about in January 2020, it is significant for the United States Pluto return. It goes hand in hand with Eris. The biological weapons, the hidden wars, we feel them. We know it's happening. And this movement that is rising, where people are denouncing the broken systems, is only going to heighten. There are so many intuitive messages I've been receiving about this lunar eclipse. I have looked at so many charts, and I have went back and forth and looking at different energies of different people. And as we embrace and let go of the death of President Kennedy and realize that the leaders, the world leaders, the hidden leaders, have only evolved in their discord with human society, the values of life on Earth, there is a realization when Edgar Cayce made his predictions about the hope of the world coming out of Russia. When he spoke about John Peniel, and then John Peniel wrote, there was actually a man named John Peniel that wrote about Atlantis. The hope of the world is John Jr. The world may laugh, and the world may taunt and make jokes, but those who hold on to hope is the reason why that there is any hope for mankind. With Eris being in Aries, the discord within our government, within the broken systems, more and more will awaken and renunciate the material to build the spiritual world on Earth as it is in heaven. The state of heaven, the state of being, is internal. It's not a place where we can go and see in the physical. It is an internal place that we can always reach. And those who constantly seek this place, this state of mind, this state of being, building their mind and their heart and their soul, that also seeks them. That state of being seeks them as well. As the world changes, as the hidden wars advance upon mankind, the evildoers will be shown. As we bring an evolutionary period to Earth, our influence can be used in a clever way. The Trojan War has not ended. You see, with the computer virus is had by the virus protector. Just like vaccines give viruses. Inoculation goes back to Asclepius. But in a deeper sense, Chiron, the wounded healer, shows that internal sickness is where the root causation of any sickness begins. And this is where the healing needs to take place, is that beginning wound There is so much to see with this lunar eclipse, and there's so much to talk about. I even thought about showing different charts and how the connections are made like a baton, where we just pass the baton because energies do not die, they just transform, they transfer. Even when Eris was found by Michael Brown, even with his talks about Planet Nine, it begins a cycle of energy that will see its time in history. Other people that come, if they have those energies that they connect with, they will work with the discovery or the reporting of such a planet. Where our solar system is traveling is where stars are born, and we are those stars. We are the ancients, and we are the ones to come. We all connect to the Christ consciousness. We all connect to it. It's just how we use the energy is what truly matters. And our leaders are trying to create a new form. Eris' main objective is that humanity moves forward. Sometimes it doesn't feel good, it doesn't look good, but in hindsight we see, that's the reason why I had to go through that. And let me just tell you a quick story before I wrap this reading up. In 1995, my stepson was diagnosed with leukemia. In 99, he passed away. His birthday is November 19th, the same day as this lunar eclipse. I realized in 95 through 99 that I had spiritual gifts to bestow upon the world. Now I help reunite past loved ones and give messages from the spirit world. I'm only able to do this because my stepson sacrificed and gave service for the world, because we all come here to find balance in the struggle. And whether it takes 10 lifetimes or 20, we eventually balance the struggle. And that's what Eris is all about. She was discovered in 2003 to push us forward into this evolutionary time. And so wherever Eris is for you is where there is powerful transformation that has taken place. The sickness that has been brought to the world has been brought to the world because there are leaders, hidden leaders, that have their pleasure in the earth by keeping people distracted, confused, and sick. And this is what the Pluto return is all about. Because even though Pluto was denounced as a planet, the leaders are reviving this Plutonian energy and using it in such a way that brings discord to humanity. There are those who are not ready in their psyche for the truth. Everything is happening the way it is supposed to. There isn't a lot of time for everything under the sun. Even when your phone falls into the water, it wasn't a lot of time for that to take place. Nothing happens by chance. Be who you want to see in the world. Don't control other people's behavior and attitude. Work on your own. Take responsibility with the Earth's resources, with the death of slaughtered animals on land and in water. Take responsibility for your role that you play here on Earth, and don't worry about other people's roles. The only control that you have is your attitude and behavior. Everything else is predestined. Prayer works. When we come together in agreement, there is much power. And that power has an allotted time as well. When mankind comes together and decides to change directions, humanity will have a heaven on earth, but not until then. What we seek seeks us. The pleasures, your desires, have much power. Your words have much power. The butterfly effect is real. However, everything is an allotted time, and there's a season for everything. There is a reason for everything. And yes, although the struggle is real, especially in today's society, evolutionary time also bring a revolutionary time where people make a stand, where people rise in their higher states of consciousness and take responsibility for their own actions and their own attitude, and they become what they want to see in the world. We have a lot to go through, a lot of earth changes, a lot of moments that we just get taken down to our knees because the Pluto return that's bringing so much death and so much sickness into the world brings a certain few much power. The only way to take that power away is to use our own power and become what we want to see in the world. Our story is being told. We are the ones telling the story of man on earth and raising the earth's consciousness to a higher state of being. In the times ahead, we are destined to rise with this higher state of consciousness on earth. The best thing that anybody can do right now, other than controlling their attitude and behavior, is to definitely meditate and focus on the sacred breath. Focusing on the sacred breath is a true connection to your higher self and to God. And it works. But it only works if you work it and connect with it. This is a transformative time. Rejoice in the fact that your spirit wanted to be here as a witness. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. All right, so until next time, we'll see you guys. Peace.